Buckle up, guys.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
The boss is here.
The boss is... I was about to say that.
We're taking notes. No, I'm just want to say hi real quick.
Taking notes, like you're going to write anything down.
Daddy's home.
That's true. My pen has not been used very much lately.
Well, there's no point saying I'll remember it.
When's the last time you actually took a note?
I do have a daily calendar, actually.
When was the last time you actually used it? You're going to look at it tomorrow and be like, oh, it's 2017.
I do keep up with my days. I have my bills on my days, and if I didn't use that, I would not remember anything. So
I'm impressed.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I actually I have my notepad on my phone that I keep a lot of stuff on too.
Actually, I do that. That's
Check it 5 to 10 business days.
Is my mic messed up? Too
I
fly?
can hear it. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, it sounds fine to me. I think it just has like a little bit of hiss at the end.
Oh, okay. It's on my phone, so.
Oh, you're clear. It's fine. It's fine.
Very tolerable.
Wade, darn it, Crow's here. I'm going to sleep. How rude. Do you know, since he started making his channel, honestly, he's been in here, he's been self-promoting Crow.
Totally. Wow.
Yeah.
Go figure.
No.
Well, he does have Dawson in his name.
No free passes.
Yeah. When he goes viral and he's a massive YouTube channel, I don't think he'll even remember any of us.
There's our community lawyer in the chat.
Yeah. Run, Mark, run.
Hit me up, man. All things defamation related, you know.
Got him on retainer.
Yeah. Can I say this?
Go on then.
Oh no, just saying if you know, like something comes up, you know, I can question them and see if I'm able to, you know, allowed to say something.
Well, it says law student. I don't think it says lawyer.
Well, I mean, that's about as close as you're gonna get, you know.
He's done
He's
5
lawyer
years.
training.
He's only got a year to go. He's done 5 years already.
Yeah.
I lost count of the number of people that asked me if they can sue someone for slander for saying something on Facebook.
Are you serious? I knew it was. Wow, that's hilarious.
Isn't slander spoken though? I think slander's spoken, defamation's written down. Yeah, that's what it is.
Defamation is if you say a fact about somebody that isn't true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it depends on what it affects to, like like if it's against a company and the company starts losing money because of a bad reputation from said words.
And that's why you always put, if you question, I don't like just saying this person's fake with no question mark.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. I mean, most likely it's been done so much. Most likely you're good, but I think that things have gotten more ramped up lately, and I don't know. It's just a way to cover your ass, or say, in my opinion. But I've also talked to people that have had experiences and said that, like, there's a guy I talked to. He has lots of experiences. He said that, in my opinion, really doesn't fucking matter. That in an actual court case, if you, the in your opinion thing does not save you from anything. So I hear so much different shit. I don't know what to believe anymore.
No, it's difficult, isn't it? I think the in your opinion just puts most people off moaning because you said in my opinion, but like you say, whether it would stand up in a court.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's generally slander is just false and malicious statements that damage a reputation.
See, Mark, I knew you were good.
There you go. Slander is spoken. Some still think YouTube videos qualify as slander because people are speaking, but it's actually libel, permanent form. Yeah, because it's recorded, isn't it?
Well, it also depends on, if they're doing a fair use of commenting or reviewing. But if that's opinionated, but if it's like, personally like attacking.
So slander is a type of defamation that involves making false and damaging statements about someone, but in spoken form rather than written. It's a civil wrong, and if proven, can lead to legal consequences. Okay, so that's slander. It's a type of defamation. Okay. What's libel then? What's libel? Libel is a written or published form of defamation, which involves making false and damaging statements about someone. So that's the written version. Okay.
But Mark says YouTube qualifies as libel because it's recorded.
Here's the thing. I've heard this because they say if you cause a channel to lose profit or lose viewers, they can sue you for that, right?
Yeah.
But I thought that was if you defamed them, right? Now I've also read that it doesn't even matter if you defamed them or not. Even if it was your opinion and you didn't do any defamation statements, that they could still sue you. Like no matter what, if their business goes down because of you, they can sue you straight up, even if it's an opinion. And I don't know if that's true, but it looks like I'm reading that is true. That even if you make an opinion about somebody, this is bullshit. I think this is fake, and it makes their channel go downhill, they can still sue you for that. I don't know if Mark will say that.
But Mark's just put in there, opinions can be statements or fact if they can be objectively assessed, even if they are framed as opinion. So in my opinion is not always guaranteed to guard against defamation.
You're good.
Kurt's impressed, Mark. Be afraid.
Bye, John.
Bye, John, sweetie.
Because when I was threatened to be sued the first time, it really freaked me out because I didn't know what I was doing, and also, that's what they were talking. They were talking basically that you're affecting my views, you're affecting my channel, and my brand is my brand. My name is my brand, and you're affecting my brand.
Well, they would also have to prove that's just you doing it. What if their channel was just going to crap and they just try to pick somebody that they didn't like for saying something? They would have to prove that you caused it.
Yeah, the burden of proof would be on them, I would have thought. Hang on. It's to do with whether it's temporary slander or permanent libel. If someone can view it after the fact, such as writing or videos, it's libel.
That's confusing as shit. That's why I don't get that. I mean, it's not. You're saying it perfectly. I just don't get it. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of like nuances to it and technicalities.
Well, I think what he's saying, probably to put it in better terms, is the slander is kind of like a temporary thing. Just someone spitting BS just because they're upset, and the permanent is like the libel that's up to stay around to do long term.
So slander is oral. Yeah. So what makes it different between temporary and permanent? Because the video is going to be there forever.
No, but you can go back to watch a video. So if you slander somebody, it's usually talking one-on-one with somebody, and it's not recorded. So it's unless you can pull in witnesses, but you can't actually in a court say go back and watch what the slander.
Yeah. It'd be really messed up if you proved somebody was fake, and you did a video on them and you really fucked their channel up, right? Because they were fake, and it was and you didn't defame it. It was all your opinion. You know what I mean? This is all, and you proved it. Even if you're right, can they still come back and sue you for that? Because hell, if you're right and you didn't, and you used all the correct language, how in the hell can they still sue you? That means that anybody can just kind of get away with whatever they want to get away with. That would be very unfortunate.
I mean, I don't know the law, but if you take somebody like Laney and Ben, who effectively did have to stop the channel because of being debunked, then he had to come out and apologise. I think it depends what people are actually saying, though. You know, when they're actually doing something wrong, I can't see you being sued because you're calling them out for it.
Like, can you be sued for saying somebody sucks in a video? Like, you know, fuck you, you suck.
No, I don't think so. I've just watched Seg's latest video. He's going to be you'd be sued left, right, and centre over the last one if you could. The Steve one I've just watched, but no, you can no. It's about. I don't think you can have anything as simple as that.
Oh, slander is spoken because usually it's just said in regular conversations, such as a chat in the street. So someone couldn't listen to what she said. Okay, I got you. So permanent would be a video or publication, and temporary would be like a one-time conversation. Okay. Yeah.
So if you were going to sue somebody for slander in court, you would have to have witnesses there because otherwise it's a he said she said thing, isn't it? You can't actually watch the incident or read the incident.
And these usually don't get taken. These, you know, it's been rare that, you know, there's a lot of threats. I mean, Kenny Bill's been threatened for years. But he also has CFI behind him on that too. But
I can't remember which video it was. It might have been the Conjuring House actually. But I do remember there was something happened. I'm pretty sure it was the Conjuring House, where Mythos had looked into it. This is about, can someone in the UK sue someone in the US? It was actually the other way around. I think Mythos had worked out he was a lot safer than somebody in the US saying it was because of different countries' laws, etc. It's not impossible, but it would be a far more difficult process to actually get Mythos from the US than, say, get you, because you're in the same country. If that makes sense. I think I've just rambled that. So much freedom of speech. Yeah, that's my problem with it.
It'd be too much work trying to sue someone overseas versus the state.
I think it's to do, and Mark can correct me, but I think it's to do with if the laws of the two countries are slightly different. I think the law of the country that you're in takes precedent.
Yeah.
So much for freedom of speech. Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's freedom of speech, just not this the consequences after.
Yeah. But some of the things that people are moaning about, you know, oh, you weren't very nice about me. No, deal with it. You're on YouTube. Do you know what I mean?
When you become a public figure, then that leaves you open.
No, we've lost Crow. It's important to remember that when law of slander and libel was made, things like videos didn't exist. The spoken word but in permanent form wasn't possible. Yeah. True.
Yeah, but during like slander and like defamation, like you really have to, you know, they have to prove that you're causing damage to their cause, whether it be a channel or whatnot. They have to prove that they're losing from that.
Pinky's eating ginger nuts. I've just finished eating my peanut butter Kit Kat. Welcome back, Crow.
I need to get one of those peanut butter Kit Kats, that's for sure.
Oh, I had a whole pack delivered.
I could just go for some Kit Kat ice cream.
Ooh.
I always thought back in the day that, like, eventually when you start, if debunking got really big, which it has gotten bigger, that eventually once it starts affecting their money more, and their channel more, that's when you'll see the lawsuits.
Yeah. Again, they'd have to directly prove that that's
Affected their channel.
yeah. Rather than them just sucking, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose they'd have to get evidence that people are actually leaving because of it. So I suppose if people were going in the chat saying, "Oh, well, apparently you're fake," I'm unsubbing.
I'm gonna say that alone would be hard to prove, anyways, because YouTube unsubs people, anyways.
Exactly.
You know, you can't narrow it down unless each person put in there why they left or had
Listen,
to.
I'd only been on YouTube for like 4 or 5 months when it happened to me, and they struck my channel for 2 videos. I did 2 videos around this person, and then they sent me like a legal letter, and it looked very, very professionally, like legit. And I just started. I didn't know. I'm not a YouTuber. I didn't know shit about any of this stuff. I never even had social media, like, ever. So this is all new to me. I was just wanting to make stupid debunking videos. So this happened. I really freaked out, and I freaked out and just like deleted all my videos, put my channel on hold, and I basically pled the guy to not sue me. Now looking back, he could have been completely fucking jerking my chain.
Yeah.
You know, he could have fucking had somebody make that shit up. You know, so I don't know. I don't know if it was real or not, but at the time, I didn't want to risk it.
Well, that's what they play on, though, isn't it? They know that most people aren't going to risk it, especially when it's big channels doing it. People who've got the money to scare you, that's what they're relying on. They don't want to take it to court. They just want to threaten you with it. So, you know, you do as you're told.
To back off.
Yeah. And that's what I'd do. I'd just be like, okay, I don't want to deal with any of that crap. Yes, Caroline, you can buy a pack of Kit Kats. You can in the shops when they're bloody there, but I've got them on Amazon. Good night, Laura.
Night, Laura.
Night.
It's very expensive to sue for defamation in the UK, though. Kind of having to get a second mortgage level expensive. Yeah. That's the other thing. If you've got a big channel, like one of the massive channels threatening you, and they've got the money to burn to do the suing, you know, and you can't even afford to get a lawyer or, you know, a decent lawyer, then that's when people just say, okay, I won't do it. That's what they rely on.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah. I had one lady insist to me that she could sue someone for slander on Facebook. I said, no, you can't. And even if you could, you couldn't afford to.
Pretty much just be salty about it and get over it.
Sheila wants a banana split. I haven't had a banana split in forever. I should just make one myself.
A banana.
Oh my god, yeah.
Banana.
Banana. You just don't see them anymore. It's not right.
Also, there was also that thing of keep on hearing over and over that, like, okay, if somebody tries to sue you for debunking video, that they would have to prove in a court of law that what they experienced was real. And I'm like, I don't know, is that really true? Like, if somebody said this was fake and they're saying it wasn't fake, you know, has that ever even been a case before? Has it ever been a case where somebody had to prove a case of the paranormal in a court of law? I don't think it's even happened before.
It's a theory, isn't it? That I suppose, yes, they've got to prove it's real, but at the same time, you know, it's like things like, depends what else you're saying as well. It's like, if you're not just saying that they're fake, you're sort of saying that they're doing this, that, and the other, and they've got to prove it's real. I don't know if you're sort of saying, oh, I think this was fishing wire, or I think this was an overlay. They could actually just turn around and say, look, you know, give raw footage, etc. I don't know, it just gets murky. I don't think it's as clear cut as saying that, you know, they've got to prove it.
So I was talking when this happened. One of the videos I made, was him acting like was getting fucked by a succubus. Okay.
Yeah.
And I made this video on him, and I put the moaning sounds in myself, and put the porn music in. So it made him, it was him in the bed acting like he was being molested by a succubus. So I put the porn music in, all that stuff, made it funny as hell. And I was telling, a show shaped on me and threatened to be sued. And he's like, that's what my word it was. He goes, what are they going to fucking do? Say he's being fucked by a succubus. And I was like, well, true.
Well, if you change up that video, technically that falls under a parody.
Right.
So, I mean,
I think that kind of stuff comes down to. I think that kind of stuff comes down to if you affect the channel. Even I don't think the actual argument of it's real or not would be a thing. I think it'd be more of a, did you affect my channel in a negative way kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a business decision to sue, isn't it? It's not a, oh my god, you're saying I'm not real. It's about clicks and views, like it always is. Mark says, yes, there are examples of where people have used paranormal arguments in court.
The devil made me do it.
Yeah, there you go. I was saying, there you go. That was one. But I wonder if a debunker has ever been taken to court for saying something was fake, and they had to go in there and prove that it was real. I don't know if that's ever happened yet. I wonder.
Not that I know of. So, has anyone ever won? I doubt it, because you can't prove it's real. Well, it's yet to be proved to be real.
Yeah.
If you rob a bank, can you claim a demon made me do it? Actually, there have been court cases, not very many, where the paranormal has played a role. So there was one, this is a long time ago, this was in the late 1800s, but there was one guy who actually got put away for murder because supposedly the ghost of the victim had visited her mother. There was one in the UK as well, but I can't remember the actual story. What it was, somebody was supposedly possessed, and it was used to actually get him out of the trouble. The Devil Made Me Do It is probably the most famous example. Yeah.
I need to rewatch that movie and give it. I need to get another shot. I mean, when I first saw it, I just enjoyed it all, but maybe I didn't give it a fair chance. I didn't like any Conjuring after the first one.
No, I wasn't keen, but it'd be an interesting one to watch just from this perspective. So, well, heavy topic tonight, guys.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's interesting. It's I'm just useless when it comes to law.
Well, that's why we got the law student here.
I know.
That's the community lawyer. Mark's the community lawyer.
He's gonna specialize in paranormal.
Ooh, that could be a thing, Mark.
Yeah.
Whole
There you go.
niche market.
Hey, your business card could have a Ouija board on it.
Don't know if there's much call for paranormal lawyers in the UK, but you know.
This discount code for the local crystal shop.
Unless you charge really high rates, and you don't need many cases. There's also at least one time I recall where I think a mistrial had to be declared after the jury tried to contact the victim of the murder via a Ouija board. No. Oh my god.
Can you email me those documents?
12 idiots. Oh my goodness.
Really? The jury tried to use the Ouija board? No way.
So stupid.
That's insane.
Well, if that was the case, they, judge would do the Ouija board on his own.
I've wanted to leave the paranormal so many times and do something different, because I got burnt out or whatever. But I could never find anything else more dumb to make fun of.
Why are you a debunker, Crow? Because it's the dumbest thing to look at.
They're on day 13. Hey guys, they brought this Ouija board in.
The judge found out about it in the court's automatic mistrial.
Oh, he said, fuck that.
It's supposed to be from the peers, not a Ouija board.
Jury was probably high, says Mike.
That's just crazy, man.
That is nuts. That is nuts. Wouldn't that qualify as the same as when you're on a jury, you're not supposed to look at the news and look at outside sources for the trial that you're on?
Now I could see a big a channel getting debunked, and the debunker made a false claim, and that channel got hit hard, and everybody thought they were fake after that. But now I can see the channel defending themselves, saying, "Hey, look, it wasn't fake. We have the video footage. We can prove it wasn't fake." I can see that.
Yeah.
Because if the channel got hit, sorry.
At least if they didn't, tamper with anything.
That'd be interesting. And I don't know if that would even happen in the market way on that, but actually see in the court, and the one team is presenting the raw footage to show that it wasn't fake, and the people have to decide for themselves if it was fake or was it not. That's what I'm getting to. I wonder if that's ever fucking happened. I don't think it has. I really don't think it's that, because the whole debunking thing hasn't been a thing. Well, there's also been magicians. I know people debunk magicians. I knew there was a little thing with that for a while too. I think they were trying to be sued. I think the magicians tried to sue them as well at one time for showing their tricks.
Yeah, because technically you're not supposed to, but that's more of an ethical thing rather than legal, I think.
Totally.
But the stuff. Interestingly enough, the last video I did on the late 1800s and early 1900s, magicians were used to actually help try and convict people who were faking the paranormal, because they were the ones that knew what the tricks they were doing. Barnum was in one court case for spirit photography being faked. So bring magicians in, because they tend to see straight away what some of the practical tricks are.
Just like when Penn and Teller have their show, you gotta try to fool them, but they know what to look for.
Yeah, Penn and Teller have debunked as well. My favourite paranormal court case has got to be Ghostbusters 2. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. Yeah, that's the rule the jury broke, and automatic mistrials. Yeah, really? It's because they tried to find and get more information from an outside source using a Ouija board. That's insane. I can't believe a jury would be stupid enough to do that. But that being said, I've done jury service, and I can believe they're stupid.
What they all do? They just bring one right into the courthouse? Surprised that even happened.
Well, usually if they're deliberating, I don't know if it happens the same in the States, but sometimes if they're deliberating here, if it's a really serious case, they put the jury up in a hotel. So they can't be affected. But then you'd have to have a Ouija board with you, wouldn't you? Unless you homemade one. No, have anybody got a Ouija board? Oh yes, I've got one with me. I carry it everywhere.
Well, those little game size ones. You see those little miniature checkerboards that you can take on car rides. Have a little miniature Ouija board. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
probably sell them. Actually.
They probably
like
brought in the
travel
an
Ouija
8-ball.
board, like Travel Monopoly and Travel Scrabble. The Travel Ouija
Yeah.
board.
They probably brought in an 8-ball. They've probably been better.
Yeah. Hey, well, why not? Hey, if you use the apps and stuff, why not use the 8-ball? That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Because look, if spirits can affect everything, why can't they affect the shaking of an 8-ball and where that thing lands? They can come to the stereo. They can affect apps. They can touch REM pods, but they can't affect an 8-ball. That seems unfair.
Well, if they can talk through radio stations, they can affect an 8-ball, can't they?
Well, if they
Yeah.
can talk through radio stations, they can use voice to text on a phone.
They probably do, Philip.
Yeah.
I've actually seen that on videos. Like, like dog, it says this. It's like, I didn't even touch the phone, man. Like, how did it know? Like, that's the thing, too, now.
Mm.
You turn the speaker, you turn the little talk to text thing on, and you see what comes through it. And if something, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. That'd be
Well, that's
more
a good
reliable
point.
than most of it. Be better than listening to static in your ears and blowing your eardrums out.
Yeah, there's a DR60 on eBay at the minute for about £1,500, so about over $2,000.
Normally 17. That'd be 17 cents at a yard sale.
Yeah. Hey, look, Miss Mayhem, how we doing?
Hey, Miss Mayhem.
Uh,
Good day, Caroline.
I made a talking board on a paper towel, says Mike.
There you go. Why not? Well, I also talked to somebody the other day. For who it was, it's like, why not just put it on? Why is it always flipping through stations? When we were doing Spirit Box, why don't they ever say, okay, hey, this time we're gonna put it on AM station 95.4 or whatever. Let's just leave it on that channel with static, and let's try to get some responses from that. You never see them doing that. And what's wild is if you go back to the beginning of ITC, the two guys that really did a lot of research, that's what they did. They would hone in on certain frequencies and keep it there and ask questions and get voices like that. So it's kind of funny to me nowadays, you'll never see them hone in on one station. It's always flipping through them.
Yeah, because you're more likely to get something coming through from the
Exactly.
radio station. Yeah.
Exactly.
This reminds me, why don't people actually go into infrasound out of the audio spectrum that you can't hear? Most people can't hear. What was it, like 19 hertz?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't they just start going, run every channel through like all those hertz, record at the same time?
Mark says God has been sued too, unsuccessfully though. How do you
Oh, wow.
claim that? Hang on. Chat just jumped on me. Some grief groups are now encouraging members to talk to their loved ones through ChatGPT. Oh my God.
Wow, really?
You know, so ChatGPT is just made to give you the best response that it can.
I talk to ChatGPT all the time. No, I do use it a lot. I do use it a lot for ideas.
Lady claimed God was negligent in allowing a bolt of lightning to hit her house and sought 100,000 in damages.
No, Jesus.
Lawsuit was thrown out for that. Oh, Mike says the Ouija towel did not work. Oh no!
Yeah, it really does anger me though when I see people use spirit boxes, because they turn it on and as soon as they hear a word, they make that confused face. You know what I'm talking about? That confused face, like they're trying to figure it out. Like, oh, that was and they're all like looking like they're very concerned but confused, trying to figure it out. It's just the dumbest. It really triggers me because you're just hearing word. It's a fucking radio. You're hearing words to the radio. Congratulations.
Yeah, then their brain's trying to piece everything together because that's what the human brain does.
Yep. It is the dumbest thing. If there's something dumber than that, please tell me. Well, I know cat psychics exist, so I'm just saying, like, the horse whisperer. I know he's a thing, but I don't know if that still is that more dumb than dead people coming to their fucking radio. I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't get why anybody. To me, it's logical that if you're going to use something that sweeps radio stations, you're going to get voices through.
Yeah. Even if it could come through, it would be very rare.
It would be very rare. How would you be able to say conclusively that differentiate between what was coming through on the radio and what was coming through from wherever?
There you go. You can't confirm it, and that's the thing. So, but just throw in a fucking stereo and just sit there and go like, a tree, I'm alive, 1800s, like, and just keep on repeating all these words on an SS method. That is pure fucking radio. It's so, we have got to get rid of that stupid shit.
And then you see them desperately trying to work it out into a narrative. Tree, oh, it said tree.
Yeah, orange. Oh, you got an orange shirt on.
Dude, we passed a tree on the way here.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about. Like, what? It said Taco Bell. Yeah, we drove past one 20 miles ago.
God, man. If you use SS method, you might as well use apps. It's the same thing. You're trying to use the word and connect it to whatever's relevant around you.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's almost like improv, isn't it? You get a word to start an improv, and then you have to keep it going. Someone tried to sue Satan for causing him prolonged suffering. He didn't include instructions for how the U.S. Marshals could serve Satan with the paperwork, so that case was thrown out.
Wow.
That's why it was thrown out.
It's so dumb. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Mark, can I ask you, what are you doing here then? If you're so smart, why are you here?
He's here to make himself feel smarter.
Well, yeah, I'm like, are you here to, like, are you a plant? Are you a plant?
He's just here for his own ego boost.
He must really love the paranormal or something.
AI suing people now, that's what I thought. Actually, do you know what? They must end up with some complications. It's a bit like self-driving cars, right? If you're in a self-driving car and you have an accident, is it your fault? Is it the car's fault? Disney is currently suing an AI company for copyright infringement. Disney have always been buggers for that.
Yeah, but they'll steal from artists and sell their stuff without paying them.
There's a lot of artists who won't work for Disney because of that.
Well, no, they've actually gone out and stolen people's actual artwork.
Yeah.
What was like one thing? I think one thing I can remember is like a guy had like a little tiki figure, and they were selling it in their tiki shop. Well, they copied his work and mass produced it. Didn't give him a dime for it.
Wow.
It's not surprising me. I should sue God for making my body so fragile. Me too. Should we do a class action? Disney will sue anyone. Disney's a classic example. They've got more money than they need to know what to do with, so they can afford to, can't they?
Yeah.
And I'm sure most people, if they see a served with papers that have Disney on them, they're going to think, oh, it's not even worth trying. In fairness, though, they seem to have a good reason to sue this company. These are pretty blatant infringements. The thing is, I see a lot of it, and I sell fan art, but I know the rules on them because it has, in some ways, it has got more lax. More companies are accepting of people basing artwork on, on what they're doing. But it's not rocket science. You don't do it with Disney. There's certain things that you just don't touch with a barge pole. Anything comic book or Disney, etc., just don't do it. So, frankly,
it's funny. Oh, sorry.
Hmm? Yeah, no. I was just frankly, if you're going to do stuff like that, don't nick from Disney. So, because it's fairly obvious which ones aren't going to put up with it at all. Have too much money, exactly. Sorry, Craig.
No, it's funny how YouTube works because they pretty much just cover their own ass. So, with ghost hunting videos, you can get away with a lot of views of their stuff, right? Except for the music part, you can use quite a bit of their video for a reaction video. But if you try to use a TV show, it's a whole, and it's only because YouTube's trying to cover their ass because they know if they let, say us, use a TV show, too much of it, then they will get sued by the actual TV show.
Yeah.
So they have to make sure that we only use a very small amount. So it's you would think fair use to be the same across the board, but it's totally not. At least with YouTube anyway.
It's not.
YouTube, yeah, go ahead.
All I was going to say is because the reaction channels I watch, I'm talking about my nerd reaction channels where I'm watching TVs and movies being reacted to. I know that there are certain. This is a bit like the Disney argument. Is there's certain, they do fair use. That's why I know. Why I know what fair use is in terms of time and etc. But there are one or two streaming services and channels that they won't touch because they know there's no point. I know that I think HBO is one that's really bad for letting YouTube channels react to them. And music's always an issue for them, always. But some of them have got more relaxed. It's like Star Wars has got a lot more relaxed because they've worked out that if they let them react to it, it's advertising for them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for the ghost video, it's like the BBC are impossible. Anything to do with the BBC, which is why things it's like Beardo can't do Help My House Is Haunted because I think that's a BBC show. There's no point.
Yeah.
They're just going to come down hard on you for that. So just don't start it in the first place. It's not worth the fight. But it's getting to the point where some of the potentially fake channels, in my opinion, blah blah blah. It's starting to go a little bit like that in some way, where some of the massive channels are starting to get more and more stroppy about being. Well, it's always happened, doesn't it? The really big channels get really stroppy about being debunked at all, and you're using their footage. Whereas others sort of can't do anything about it. I'm not really a fan of the BBC. I don't know anybody in the UK that is, or very few. They're awful. And we have to pay them to watch telly, even if we're not watching them.
See, I think some of it's not really about if you're proving, those TV shows, fake or whatever. It is more about the ad revenue.
It's about the usage of it, I think.
Exactly. Oh yeah, totally. It doesn't matter if you're debunking it or not. It's just the usage of it.
Yeah, well, a lot of the TV shows are starting to, post their stuff online because no one really watches TV as much as they used to. Even like music videos and stuff, they put it online. So if you're taken away from their channel where they're making money.
I think most TV So in the UK, most TV stations, BBC has it, so you can watch everything on the BBC online. They have what's called iPlayer, so all of the BBC you can watch online now. They don't rely on it being watched on TV, on an actual TV set. But yeah, they want people to go to their channel. And let's face it, I mean, I keep saying it with when debunkers are watching these, doing their debunking videos. I don't go over to the. I'll be honest, I don't go over to the channel and think, oh yes, I'll go and watch the whole thing. You know?
No, they just say it just. Yeah.
You say it because it's the thing to say.
It helps all that stuff. So why were you being nice? Because look, if you're trying not to get struck by a ghost hunter's channel, if you throw a couple little caveats in there, that will go a long way. So if you get the title description, the link in the description, right, and then you say, hey, make sure you seg that every time. Go watch the full video on blah blah blah. It kind of keeps them off your ass as much. If you go in there just total dickhead mode, no link, no shout out, all negative, you're most likely going to get struck.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of you guys say it. Go over to their channel, and watch. I think one. I don't know if he says it every time, but I know the one I watched just tonight. He says, before you watch my video, go over and watch the full video.
Yep. Yeah, he always does that, man.
And I struggle to get through some of the Seg's videos because of who he's reacting to, let alone go and watching the full bloody thing. That's your guy's job, right? Is to watch the whole thing. Even if they're going to change the licence fee to be included in the council tax, the BBC chairman actually claimed that using advertisers like everyone else would. What bollocks! Honestly, UK television up its own arse. Would it change the dynamic legally if you made your channel a business like an LLC? I don't think it would. The reason I'm saying that, I don't know if Crow would agree, but I mean, both Crow and I are monetized. Technically, you're already a business in a sense.
True. You are
You're earning money from it.
Making it LLC just means you're primarily the employee of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what they're after, isn't it? It's they're saying, well, you're making money off our content.
Well, you can also save money if you outsource stuff too, or say you outsource stuff. Because then you can actually save on taxes.
The hundreds of other channels that use adverts haven't put our TV out of business. The audacity for him to think the BBC would do that. I think ITV from the very inception in, I think it was the 60s or 70s, can't remember. They have always been a money-making business. That's why they put the adverts in. They understand far more about being a business than the BBC do, because the BBC have always had government money. That's what the TV license is. It goes to them. They haven't had to work for that the way that ITV did. At least in the UK, you can monetize UK YouTube channels of businesses. They're classified as businesses by HMRC. Yeah, I mean, I have to include any. Well, I haven't had to do it yet, but I'll have to include YouTube earnings in my tax return. You have to put your information in when you get monetized, so that you. I don't know if you do in the States, but you do here. You have to get verified as being a business. So even if you don't put it in your taxes, they're going to know because YouTube's got all the information. That's a bit like PayPal. PayPal's the same. Once you earn over a certain amount on PayPal, you have to declare yourself as.
And they changed that rule this year starting, where anything over $500, you have to report it.
Yeah.
I think. I might be wrong. I'm sorry. It's a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're allowed to make a certain amount of money for personal use of PayPal, but it's not a lot of money. And I know when I was doing eBay, it was quite quick that I had to put my business details in.
Yeah, yeah, like PayPal. It's like it's like the gift tax and stuff and all that. If you receive over a certain amount, or people, have to buy something from somebody personally. If it's over a certain amount, you have to tax form. Well, not a tax form, but a form that's here's payment for something or a gift or whatever.
If you're sending somebody money on PayPal, you can actually say whether, even with a business account, you can say whether it's personal or business. Any income, regardless of the avenue which it was made. Yeah. That's why mine are a pain in the arse, because I have so many income threads. But most of it's digital, so it's just a case of downloading.
Like Indiana is if you make over a certain amount a year or so many transactions, then you have to file for business or a state tax ID for it. But generally, your Social Security is your state tax ID until you reach a certain point.
Yeah. So,
the trivia stuff, man. That's a pretty good channel idea. Like making trivia videos.
I was thinking that, yeah.
I mean, it would be a pain in the ass. It's a lot of tedious, like just dumb editing, but you can make it look good and yeah. I mean, there you go, dude. Your questions, you can use whatever you fucking want. I mean, they get lots of views too. I'm sure there's a lot of channels that do that don't get views. I haven't looked or anything, but man, that'd be a good source of income if you get it, get it to work.
I think the main thing with them is the way, like the one you were using today. Not the geography one. What did you start with? Anyway, where there's a little bit of animation and it's it's not just a sort of there's something interesting to look at on screen. That's all you need, because they were clearly using AI voices.
Yep, and it's the horror ones. Some of the horror ones are pretty basic. You play a small clip and then you get multiple choice, but I'm not sure what program they're using for all those fancy graphics for the multiple choice thing either.
No. But it's I've often looked at some of those channels and you look at the views they've gotten, etc. I suppose the only thing is it would depend whether, well, you wouldn't be looking for memberships anyway, would you? So I suppose you would get monetized for adverts on them. I'm just thinking about third party and AI and everything. But it's like that when I did that video last year and did some like the how to boil an egg. I mean, somebody had got like 400,000 views on building a jigsaw puzzle. That was all the whole video. Just somebody actually got a bird's eye view camera of them actually just putting a jigsaw puzzle together.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's like spending hours editing and researching, and somebody does a fucking jigsaw and gets like 400,000 views.
It's ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I don't get why we never, like, how come we don't get more of the viral type video? Because I've seen videos where it's a guy in his car reacting to some song, like just a song reaction. He barely says a word, and it's just him in a car, shitty audio, and he gets 1 million views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, I sometimes occasionally will look at music reaction video and they get tons of views. Way more than the subscription.
I've always wanted to know one of those guys to ask them about their monetization, because they cannot make money off those videos. There's no way playing a song all that way through and still making money. I'm curious to ask them if they ever do.
Well, I am subscribed to one of them. And he's got about 150,000 subscribers. And I think he does all right on it. But they have the same... I mean, it must depend on the artists as well. But they wouldn't get a video through onto YouTube if there was a major problem with it, would they? But
right, you can get it by, but will it be monetized? That's the thing. With all that, and music is the hardest thing to get on there.
Yeah.
Without, they'll say, okay, you get a copyright. You can still play it, but you're not gonna get paid for it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like the my reaction channels. Most of them don't have memberships. One or two of them do, but most of them don't. They make their money off Patreon.
Oh, right.
They put their full reactions on Patreon. But hardly any of them. I would say less than 10% of them actually have memberships on their channel because of that. I don't know how the ones that have managed memberships have got away with it, but most of them don't even bother trying. So I don't know. There must, but I don't know whether. Actually, I think the guy that does the Patreon, that does the one I'm actually subscribed to, that does the music reactions, I think he's got a Patreon. So they kind of use the YouTube channel to get the numbers up. Because I followed one reaction channel it's the one I followed the longest, my favourite one, and they were on about 36,000 when I first started following them in 2019. And compared to other reaction channels, I used to look at them and think, you're not growing as quickly as the other reaction channels. I mean, they're on about 150 now, but that's taken like 6 years. And there's one or two of my reaction channels that are over 1 million. But then they hit 100,000, and there's two of them live in New York. There's two of them. One of them had just had a kid, and they managed to go full time. And I thought, well, there's two of you. It would be difficult enough if there was one of you, especially where you're living. But it's because they'd worked out all the other income threads, like Patreon. They've built up. I actually joined their Discord, but it was just so busy and everybody knew each other. They've actually developed this community off YouTube.
Discord.
Yeah, on Discord and on Patreon. So that's where they're getting the money from. It won't be YouTube. It'll be other sources. But if you think about it, if you've got say if you've got 1,000 patrons, and which I suspect some of these channels will have multiple patrons, and even if you're only charging $5 a month, and most of them have tiers, you're talking about $5,000 a month. Does that make sense? So
holy shit, yeah.
So I think that's what some of the music channels do as well. They go onto Patreon and
make it there.
Yeah. And if you've got 150,000 subscribers, you can probably do really well off things like Patreon. I'm completely ignoring chat, guys. I've just realised. I'm going to have to crow the chat.
You're Joe in the chat.
I'm Joe in the chat. I'm almost fucking second in the chat.
Wow.
How do some channels get away with showing movies on their channels? Well,
that's a good one.
Yeah, Crow uses public domain movies.
Well, I've looked out. Now, the thing is funny is that it's funny because copyright is kind of the luck of the draw. I have done a couple of movies in the past that were copyrighted, right? But sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you don't. But if you get hit enough, they will strike you or delete your channel, or kick you off of YouTube. So I had to resort to using movies that aren't copyrighted, which are not like the highest quality either. So, but you can't go watch Friday the 13th, or I mean, you can try. Like even that last we watched Witchboard from 1986, a bad B movie. They still shut me down over that crap, and I was pausing it and trying to talk in between, and it still got shut down. Oh, I found a fucking bad made-for-TV movie from the fucking 90s, and it was horrible quality, and I got shut down for that one too.
Damn.
So I can't risk it anymore. So I have to find really shitty independent movies.
That makes them fun though.
Yeah, you can still make fun of them and stuff like that. Some of them aren't that bad. Gives you a weird place to hang out, you know.
They buy the rights to show them. Expensive. And it's because they don't demonize white chocolate. They should.
That's true.
I want to sue to demonize white chocolate. Yeah. Sorry, that was an amazing crow in the chat, that was.
Should be illegal, huh?
I know.
I hate crow in the chat too, because it's like, I want to read everybody's comment, man, but then you're 17 minutes behind. It's like, what do you do?
Crow the chat.
We're going reverse.
Well, crows always do, isn't it?
Oh yeah, hit the reverse mode, baby. Go all the way down and then work your way up. I read a lot of magazines like that too. I'll start in the back. You guys do that too? Anybody here?
No.
Start in the back and work my way up. I'm telling you, man, I got something going on.
Reading.
I've always done that.
Nosferatu is on YouTube. Thing is, I think Crow's done them that are on YouTube and got hit.
Oh yeah, they're all on YouTube.
I don't know if
All the ones.
Nosferatu is a bit slow, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I couldn't make it. Especially the remake. I couldn't do the remake either. I'd rather watch the original than Nosferatu.
You do what you have to do in law school, skim read to pick out interesting comments. Mark, I'm the same. I actually taught myself to speed read. I've not been officially trained, but that's what I did because I was a student. I automatically speed read now. That's the only way you can do it. You can't read everything. Creature Features must buy the rights to show many movies.
There you go. Yeah. Because you'll see a lot of those movie websites, YouTube channels, they will have some kind of copyright agreement.
Yeah. Mike says, I'm left-handed. I read magazines in reverse. Crow's just awkward. I'm going to be original, man. I'm going to read this magazine backward.
I think I get impatient. I want to go to the end, and then you know, I don't know. Who knows?
That's how he read novels. He knows what happens before the.
Yeah, there you go. Make my own choose your own adventure. You know.
Straight to the end.
Like, what happened to Pam? What happened to Pam? Maybe go back 5 pages.
How do some channels get away with saying the real thing instead of code without strikes? Right?
I'm not sure what that means. Sorry.
No, I don't know what that means either.
There's a different tier system if you get slapped on the hand.
I've read so many books, but the beginning of very few. Yeah. Textbooks. Oh no, I will speed read novels as well.
See, I can read fast. I just can't comprehend what the fuck I'm reading. Like I'll have to read a page and have to go back and try to understand. You know, my comprehension even at school was always low. I can because while I'm reading, I'm thinking of other shit.
Well, I was going to say that's distraction because if I was to read a book properly, or if I do read a book properly, I have to go back and realize that I've read it, but none of it's gone in because I've been thinking about other things.
There you go. Yeah, like watch a movie. So if you watch a movie with me, and we're getting into it, right? I'll miss something because I'm thinking other crap in my head. I'm totally not even like hearing what's going on at all, right? Yeah. So I'll rewind it like half a minute to see what happens. By the time I hit play and go back to that original part, I'm already thinking of something again. So sometimes I'll go back 3 or 4 times to see that same part because I keep on getting distracted in my fucking brain.
Yeah.
Or just something's not clicking or you're trying to make sense of.
No, honestly, it's just me tuning out. Just for hitting play and forgetting I need to watch it and just fucking, I'm off somewhere else already. I really need to get tested for ADHD. I got tested when I was a kid. They said I had it. We didn't do anything about it for some reason. I'm sure I have it now. I need to get tested again.
Yeah, if your mind's wandering. I mean, I do that. That isn't reading, that's looking at. No, you do actually read it. I do actually read it. I'm conscious that I'm looking at. I'm actually reading the thing, but I'm not taking in what I've read. Whereas when I'm more likely to get the gist of a book when I'm speed reading, because I'm concentrating on looking for key words. Whereas if you just reading but you think it's a bit like if you're listening to music and you get distracted. You're still listening to the music, but then you know, if it's like one of my favourite songs and I've missed my favourite bit, I'm thinking, oh god, I've missed it. You know, I've got to rewind.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for the gifteds. Mike O for the super chats. Jethro for the 9 months and the gifted. Mark for the 5 gifteds. John for 8 months membership. And Phil's a YouTube baby at 9 months.
Oh, yeah. Going free.
So, good night, and thank you, Crow, and thank you, Phil.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Don't need coffee.
I need coffee. I need coffee.
You don't need coffee.
I need coffee, Daddy.